Welcome to 2025's version of Guest Alliance. We are back. New energy, new blood, new everything. Dunkin Dad, how we doing? And welcome to the program. Our friend from 105.3 The Fan and also Locked On Sports Detroit, Jake Riepma. You can hear him Saturdays with Chris Arnold. Jake Riepma, how are we doing? And I'm glad for you to join us for this year on the podcast for football season. How are we doing, by the way? I love the shirt.
Yeah. Thank you. I was trying to, for everybody tuning in visually, trying to really bring out the Miami theme for you there and speak the tropical paradise into existence, because I don't think they'll be experiencing that on the football field, a paradise anyways. But hey, happy to be here, guys. Happy to get this season going and stop talking about preseason football and actually about games that count and matter.
Yes, definitely. I'll say this. We will not be making, well, we could make fun of Bill Belichick in his college debut if we want to, but that was a brutal look anyway. So should he go back to the TV job? That's a real question anyway.
People are asking.
Duncan, you got anything?
No, just you couldn't flop any worse.
That is true.
At least the opening possession for about a 2-minute time period, I was like, Bill Belichick can do anything, man. I texted everybody I knew, Chapel Bill, I'm all in. And I could, like a lot of things in my life, I just fell flat on my face so fast. So fortunately, I did not go on Twitter or any social media with my Chapel Bill is the real deal for that.
I had to tweet it. I will not overreact on a North Carolina after one drive. I was right about that anyway. So
very nice.
It's still the same thing. Guest lines. We're gonna do 10 questions as always. We're gonna guest lines. Jake, a little thing about guest lines. I organized the early slate into tiers, by the way. So you may like this, or you may think we could. I say this is a democracy. If you think the game does not belong in that category, you have the right to say it. You can move it anyway. So I always give up the dock to everyone who's part of the show. If you want to move it, go for it. And so I always like to say, this: check your local listings if you like this game or not. Anyway, so you down for fun this year?
Oh, I am pro fun in every aspect. So
right.
I don't really ask a lot of questions. I just kind of go with the flow. So you won't hear much pushback from me, if we're being honest.
Hey, if
no talking back.
You're allowed to talk back to me. This is a pro-democracy anyway. So
I'll talk back and make fun of you and probably refute and argue all of your takes and everything. But as far as the structure and the direction of the show, you're the boss here, Trev.
We'll just let you handle the administrative duties there.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, I don't want to be a jerk and say it's not worth my time by any means.
Yeah.
I'm just
you can say that about any game. I say that mostly half the Dolphin games, like Dolphins Colts. Do I want to watch this game? Not really anyway, so that's why. All right, let's start with these 10 questions. Number 10, out of the 2025 NFL rookie QB class, who are you most intrigued about? Fire away.
Duncan Dad, do you want to go first or you want me to?
You go first, buddy.
All right. Mine's very simple and probably the number one overall draft pick, if you will. I think he's entering in a perfect situation with no pressure. So long as he doesn't commit turnovers, throwing the ball between his legs, behind his back, and put mayo in his coffee, he's doing better than the previous quarterback at that for that team. And you talk about just like a clean slate to fully embrace the process of being a number one overall pick without the pressure to do anything substantial in the first year. I mean, the expectations in Tennessee are about as minimal as possible. And combined with, it's not like it's a brand new regime and wholesale changes coming in there. I just think you put together a situation for this number one overall pick in Cam Ward where everything is looking up and time is not of the essence and they can be patient. So it can be a total learning year for the number one overall pick. And oftentimes that is the case, but at the same time, it also, I think there's something to be said about it being the Tennessee Titans, not to be disrespectful to all of our loyal Titan listeners out there, but it's not really a long heritage and history. I mean, when I think of the Tennessee Titans, I guess I think of coming up 1 yard short in the 99 Super Bowl. But other than that, what does the franchise really have to hang their hat on? Not a whole lot. So Cam Ward can be the savior, and there's no pressure to do so right away. There's a long runway to learn, and for that reason, he just makes total sense as the one I'm most intrigued to see.
Dunkin Dad, who you got?
Oh, man. I'm actually waiting for it's not necessarily a rookie, but I want to see JJ. up there in Minnesota.
Mm.
I need him to be as they're advertising him, because right now I'm not putting a lot of faith in that offense the same way that they kind of struck gold last year. Wasn't blowing the barn doors off at Michigan. He managed the game well. He had moments where he looked like NFL caliber quarterback, and obviously got a couple games under his belt. But coming back this year, everything's on his shoulders. That's where I'm tuned in, because that division kind of just flipped upside down with the Parsons trade. There's a lot more pressure now on both Green Bay and Minnesota to perform, and sitting back there, everyone's just blowing off Detroit. It's like, okay, we're looking at these two teams, and Detroit still has all the personnel, right? I mean, like, the coordinators are gone. It's going to be a big deal, but all your personnel's are like, don't outthink the room. Sort of like what Jake was saying about Tennessee. Like, we see sometimes these NFL teams, they don't get out ahead of things, and Tennessee totally did that. They're like you said, no pressure. Come in, take your time, nice and easy. No one's expecting the world to be on fire. But yet, there's other teams, like right down 95 here, and 3 quarterbacks, right? You got Dart, you got Wilson, you got Winston. Like, pick a guy. Like, who's going to be playing quarterback at the end of the season? Jackson Dart, legitimate chance.
That is very true. For me, Jackson Dart, and also a sneaky good one, Jalen Milroe. I don't trust Sam Darnold at all in Seattle. I'm waiting to see the Jalen Milroe era start in Seattle, because I feel like Bill McDonald is on the hot seat up there, even though no one's saying that. That team was supposed to be, we talked that team up really well last year with Geno Smith and everything. I just want to see what this rookie quarterback does, and I'm just really intrigued with him. Also, Jackson Dart's like, he should be starting for the New York Giants, because I just feel like that franchise needs something. And going with Jameis Winston or Russell Wilson ain't it for me anyway. So that's what I feel. Anything else? You guys good?
I always get made fun of for this take, and so why not just introduce it to the next audience as well, for me to put myself at the mercy of being ridiculed. But I just believe there's still that little bit left of Dangerous and Mr. Unlimited, and he's as cheesy, and I think it's just selfishly because it's like, for me, maybe this is a terrible comparison, and I'm going to do many terrible comparisons throughout the course of this, but it's like a car. Dangerous is like a car accident for me. I just can't take my eyes off of it. And if he turns out to be really good, I mean, I just would love some more cheesy post-game interviews where it's like, you have the creative player AI combination of what a post-football game interview should sound like. Man, we just trusted our teammates. And it's like, dude, just be a human out there. But I would love for Dangerous and Mr. Unlimited to have a resurgence in New York, just purely for the entertainment's sake.
What's the over-under on the New York accent coming out in Russell Wilson's mouth at the end of the year?
That's a good one. That is a good one. Number 9, give me a team or teams that should be tanking this year for a quarterback.
Easy
New
for
Orleans.
me. Yeah. I would say there's a couple of really good options. New Orleans is the easy one. I think you could also make the case that the Colts are no closer to a destination as far as having a leader of their team, and they fell for the numbers on a combine test sheet like a lot of idiotic teams do time and time again, because I guess the reward outweighs the risk. The risk is you just still suck and you stay the same, or the reward is you find lightning in a bottle. So I would say if you're Dunkin Dad, if you're going with the Saints, I'll go with the Colts.
All right, that's fair.
That's a good one. I'm going to say the Jets. They just need to fix somebody. I don't believe in Justin Fields. That's me. It's not one other thing. I just don't believe in Justin Fields. And also, I think that's the Colts and Saints are the top 2 obvious one, but I'm going to go with the Jets on that one. So, number 8, who is the first coach fired, and who will be your replacement for the coach that will be fired?
Man. Wow. Gracious. Colts, right? Looking at Steichen, maybe.
Yeah.
That thing turns out really bad.
That's a good one. That's a very good one. Jake, who you got?
Oh, I'm probably at some point going to contradict myself. And so I'm racking my brain. I was like, all right, I can't, I don't want to say this team because I just said, like, I can't say, I mean, if we're saying the Colts should tank and maybe that just comes with wholesale changes with Steichen, I think, you kind of believe in Steichen for a lot of different reasons from the success he had as the OC with the Eagles. But, gun to my head, coach that you just feels like it might not be a fit, and this team is perpetually unable to find their fit at head coach. So Stefanski with the Browns, and I mean, a lot of it's just not his fault. I think, in my personal opinion, but coaches just have a way of being scapegoats because it's not going to be, if it's the coach or the GM, it's not going to be the owner.
No,
there you go.
He's got all that money tied up with Flying J and also Tennessee football. So I'm going to go. Stefanski's a good one. I'm going to go back Mike McDaniel. I think that's the hottest one, and I think that's the obvious one people are saying. I will throw that one on the board. I feel like the one that I'm going to go out on a limb for Raheem Morris. I just think the Atlanta team is like in a rudderless ship anyways, and I feel Arthur Blank is going to do something anyways. He's going to fire another coach. That's my personal opinion. So Raheem Morris in Atlanta. So, number 7.
Sorry, real quick. I should have said McDaniel. That's just me not being good at this, Trevor. So if I'm on the if I'm on the hot seat and should be fired from this show for not saying McDaniel, I totally get it because that was an obvious one that was out there, and I just swung and missed, not even swung. I just watched go right down the middle for strike 3. So if I'm on the hot seat, totally get it, guys.
It's like a Joel Hanner fastball, anyways, right down the middle. It's like 101 at least, anyways. So, all right, number 7. Open up the schedule. What's the best game you're looking forward to watching that's a primetime game this year?
I have my own. This is going to be very small J journalist, the opposite of being a big J journo because it's purely selfish rooting interest.
We like selfish in here. We really do. Anyways.
Okay. So obviously my Detroit roots, Thanksgiving's always a big day. And for a long time, that was the Lions' only national game. And now that the Lions are, back-to-back NFC North title winners and 15-game winning teams, and Dan Campbell and everybody loves us. Now we're on national TV a few more times. But the following week, being in Dallas and just immersed in Cowboys culture, the circus, everything else, selfishly, I'm looking forward to a nice beatdown on Thursday at Ford Field the week after Thanksgiving. So the Lions lost Aiden Hutchinson in that game against the Cowboys last year, and the beatdown was pretty substantial even of all of that. I mean, I don't remember what the score was. People stopped watching after the first half because why was there any reason to watch? But the Cowboys will always be, and I will debate anybody for this, no matter, and it's not even a product of them being good, bad, indifferent. They're the Cowboys, and the documentary proves it, and the Micah Parsons trade and everything else. So watching my team, the Detroit Lions, dominate the Dallas Cowboys on national TV on a Thursday night game will be fun.
Dunkin Dad.
Man, just right out of the box. Banner night, opening night, Cowboys, Eagles. That's, selfish and also, just the wantingness to really lay into Dallas. And there's this old part of me, like this old Eagles fan part, and it's just like, please do not lay an egg. Like, do not come out there with all the drama that's going on with, Dallas and the trade, and just like, don't let Dak come in here and just, go off. And, there's this little shred that's like, okay, we should dominate and we should be okay, but just so I'm just a little antsy about it.
Week 4, Packers Cowboys. I'll be in Tampa anyways, at a beach, probably at a beach bar watching Sunday Night Football anyways after Eagles Buccaneers. Eagles Buccaneers.
Nice.
Cowboys, so we all chose rooting against the Cowboys.
Right.
Jerry.
No, I'm going by the storyline of Michael Parsons' return to Dallas anyways. I think that's the most entertaining storyline. And Jake does Saturdays on the Fan. I am ready to see a full list of phone calls anyways and stuff, and especially leading up into pregame anyways. So Jake Riepma, we will definitely need some clips from before of your show if you have any crazy callers. So definitely for that. All right. Give me your power rankings of teams in the NFC and AFC leading into this year.
Oh, is that me? We're starting with me.
Anyone could go anywhere.
All right. All right. NFC, I think you got to go. What are we going? Top what? Top
4.
Top 4 or 5, yeah.
All right. All right. So we'll go Eagles. And here I go with my bias take, but back-to-back NFC North, coming off a 15-win season, the Detroit Lions, everybody's sleeping on them. They're not even favored to win their own division now. I think you got to throw in there. A lot of it is so dependent upon the health of Matthew Stafford, because with Matthew Stafford, I think the Rams are a top 4 team. Without him, I think they're a bottom 4 team. And I hate to give him that much credit. So I'll say and this pains me, but I'll say the Rams and then the Green Bay Packers.
I like that.
Yeah, I feel like he's cheating. Same thing. The Eagles, I think, are the clear class in the NFC. After that, again, like Jake was saying, predicated on health of people, connection and conjunction with the new coordinators in Detroit. Having Hutch back is huge, just as an anchor alone in the mentality, the locker room presence for Detroit. I think that will go a long way. They're loaded with talent. So I don't think you can put Detroit any lower than the 3rd-ranked team in the NFC. I like Tampa. I like the way that their schedule sets up. I like the fact that they have a nice young wide receiver that's sort of going to be taking that torch from Evans. Godwin's going to come back and try to run it back. Baker, again, like losing that coordinator and Duval, like that's still going to be a little bit for Baker to adjust. But moving on, again, McVay, Stafford, when they're together and they're running, it's great. You take that out of the mix, and the Rams do. They go from a top 4 team where I have them down to the bottom half of this division. Packers, I think I slide them slightly above the Commanders and the Vikings as sort of like that 5th team, just because they've been there. Their talent, they upped on the defense a little bit. Now, again, like Jordan Love needs to play, not MVP caliber football, but he needs to play really good football. And they'll be all right. But again, like that's a loaded division now. You're gonna have probably 2 out of those 4 teams not make the playoffs, which is crazy.
So that NFC North is probably my favorite division to watch. Like both North divisions are most entertaining for me. Eagles, Lions. I like the Buccaneers. I like Baker. I'm trying my hardest not to defend Baker Mayfield like I used to do with Jake Cutler. So I'm trying my hardest not to go on that boat right now and stuff. Give me the Bucks at 3. 4, I really like Washington because I feel like they got McLaren back on an extension. That offense looks like you pretty good with. You have Austin Eckler. You also have Deebo Samuel, and you have Terry McLaurin. That's a 3-headed monster, which I would not be messing around with. And also a 4th one of Zach Ertz, who has a resurgence with Washington with Cliff Kingsbury. And I really want to see what Jaden Daniels could do with his sophomore year. I think it's the most entertaining storyline. Plus, Washington has been dead for almost 20 years. Can they repeat the magical year they had this year anyway? So that's my big thing.
I wanted to intervene and just say I should have been more clear about intentionally leaving Washington out of mine, because not only do I think that they'll regress in year 2 with Jaden Daniels, I think it's a significant sophomore slump, a lot of tape out on him. And I'll even go as far as say I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. So there's some
whoa.
Bulletin board material. I was
board
just say mark that, and I fully anticipate the clown gif of putting on the clown, Mr. Rogers putting on the clown face and or the emoji, whatever it is. But have them saved in your drafts for that. But I'm not a buyer on the Commanders.
I've said a few teams call them the R word still. Anyways, AFC. I'm gonna go really quickly. Give me the Chiefs, Bengals. Give me the Bills and the Ravens. I think it's those 4. You can put anywhere what do you want to do. I am very high on Joe Burrow to do something this year. That's the one dude I'll defend to the wall almost. So he's my new Jay Cutler guy.
I'm running down Baltimore, Kansas City, flip a coin. just because of the talent, because of the MVP pedigrees, because of the coaching staff, just everything top to bottom. They're just two really good run organizations when it comes to football. Buffalo, I think, has to be third just by default. Everybody wants the sexy pick of Cincinnati. I'm not sold on Cincinnati. It's not that I'm not sold on Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow. I think he's he's a cool cat, right? Chase is going to have another year. He's going to put up his video game numbers. That's what he does. Higgins will be fine. Chase Brown, good sleeper pick for your fantasy people out there. But I don't know. I don't have enough of a track record for them to stay healthy for me to be like, yeah, this is my team. Because when they are healthy, the guy goes to AFC Championship games and he goes to Super Bowls. But they haven't been able to put all that stuff together, and they still have Zach Taylor as a coach, and they still have a crappy defense. Nothing has changed. Conversely, San Diego, LA, whatever they are nowadays, they've tooled up a little bit. Another year under Harbaugh, nice young wide receiver. Does Herbert actually take that next step that everybody claims, he is? I'm not sold on him, but structurally and team-wise, I feel like he's in a better spot, than Burrow is. There's just more consistency.
Jake, AFC?
I feel more confident about the AFC than I do the NFC, just from the sense that it feels more predictable, which is usually the precursor for it being wide open and unbelievably unpredictable. But I think
Colts make the playoffs now.
Yeah. Right. The Bills, again, they're on Hard Knocks too, so basically feel like I'm at practice, so I just am all in on the Bills now. I do think this is the year. This is finally
the year.
Monkey off the back for Josh Allen. They're getting to a Super Bowl, getting past the Chiefs, who I'll put at number 2. I love the Ravens at 3, and then Bengals at 4. So it's pretty uneventful in terms of the presentation of my power rankings, but it's what I feel.
That's cool. I like him. All right, number 5. If you could do a sports talk on anyone, like Jerry Jones and the Gambler, what would it be anyways? Jake, I feel like you got a good one going.
In the NFL line for me, it's very, very simply put. I mean, the Lions were the most losing-centric organization for so long. Even Dan Campbell's first year, they were terrible. I mean, it was a 2-win football team with a tie in there maybe, and then you quite literally saw the story being built and the foundation being put forth. And in the second year, they get real close. They end Aaron Rodgers' time in Green Bay, and then they break through the last 2 years. But they need a Super Bowl run to complete what would be an epic Netflix documentary series from the bowels of hell, and that was the Detroit Lions for a really long time. I mean, you talk about Barry Sanders retiring early, Calvin Johnson retiring early, and it's what I know. But Dan Campbell, if and when he breaks through, they should build not just a 12-foot Tom Brady statue, but like a life size, bigger than life size, like a 50-foot statue in front of Ford Field, because winning a Super Bowl for the Detroit Lions compared to where this team has been historically would be astronomical.
Dunkin Dad.
Yeah. I mean, I think Detroit's got a nice little thing going on right now. Tigers are playing well. The Lions are in a good spot. So it's on the coming up, as they like to say, right?
Yeah.
I think the only other thing I'd probably be interested in, I don't know, I want to really get into the whole fiasco that was like the Gruden and the Raiders and the Skins and the emails and all that kind of stuff, because he went out and he beat them in court, and usually the NFL doesn't get a slap on their their wrist or whatever doing anything wrong, but that whole transition of where that team was at, where they were going, the complete fall off, now a total rebuild, and Gruden's just kept charging on forward.
Yeah,
it's just a good story.
I agree, and also so many times in today's society, you get canceled and people just turn on, or society turns on you and everything. People tried to cancel him, and he's uncancelable. Cancelable. I mean, the dude's electric.
Can't cancel him.
Yeah, you follow. I mean, all of his unboxing and everything else. That's a dude I would love to just. That's a great call, because you just follow him. You follow him for a day with the camera, and you got 24 hours of content. He's just there's never a time he's not entertaining.
Definitely, for sure. All right, mine. The Raiders, when John Gruden left to Al Davis's death, I want to know what happened there. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
The Matt Millen era, I know Jake's got that one already. That's been said. My personal favorite one, the Dan Snyder era. Why was it just a complete bleep show? I really want to. I want a whole movie on that anyway.
That's like an expose, man.
That is the expose we need. I don't know.
RICO charges, SEC charges. Holy, there's gonna be there. That's a lot of unbox. I don't know if people in Washington want you to unbox that, buddy.
I think we want to. I just want that in the Raiders, anyways. What happened after the Super Bowl loss, anyways, in San Diego, California? All right, tool bag question. What's an all-time tool bag moment between the Eagles and the Cowboys? And this also goes to you, Jake. Lions and Packers, since you are our NFC North guy. What's an all-time tool bag moment you've seen between that rivalry, and we got many in the Eagles and Cowboys rivalry?
Yeah, at the risk of sounding unintelligent for the umpteenth time on this program, by definition of a tool bag moment, like moment I wanted to, crawl in a hole and never watch football again because there's plenty of those. A moment where Aaron Rodgers or named the Packers quarterback was a huge tool because there's plenty of those as well.
Yeah,
just
pretty much.
Define the tool bag parameter.
The tool bag is like, who's the biggest douchebag when you think of that between those rivalries? Anyways, like that's what we mean by that. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, gosh, where do I start?
Yeah.
No, Aaron Rodgers is probably the easiest.
That Mark Chmura guy, no?
Yeah. There's so many of them with the Packers. Aaron Rodgers. Honestly, LaFleur has some douchey characteristics on the sidelines, and maybe that's just because he's so handsome and good looking. And I mean that obviously in the most respectful way and by nothing else of it, but he's got a nice haircut and always dressed as well and everything. But Aaron Rodgers perpetuated doucheyism for his entire career, still does. And so when he is constantly, probably the most telling moment, that Hail Mary on that Thursday night game, because he bitch and moaned to the ref about and caused the face mask call. I forget who the defensive end was on that, but it was clearly he was tackled by his shoulder and it wasn't a horse collar call, but that penalty extends the game. And then they throw a 60-yard Hail Mary and break the hearts of all Detroit Lions fans. So it is very much hating Aaron Rodgers because he was beating my team every single game, but that's the easy answer.
Eagles and Cowboys for me, I will say Terrell Owens is the layup easy answer. I will throw in there the Tony Romo, Jessica Simpson whole charade during that era of Eagles Cowboys. They're showing up Jessica Simpson in the box wearing the pink number 9 jersey. That era, especially.
Yeah, man. T.O. playing for both teams, like that's easy. The quarterbacks, it's my quarterback. There's so many things. Like there was times where, the fourth down stops, right? Like that was great, and then all the fallout from, losing and shit like that. But I don't know. Like we've kind of gotten past the crazy little sketchy crap that used to go on. I mean, they used to do like demolition derby stuff and paint a car with, the cowboy star on. Everybody's like breaking and beating up the car and crap like that. But moments between the two of them, gosh, I don't know. Like there's been moments I wish we would take back as Philly fans, like Irvin getting hurt, like booing him. I think that's, like bigger picture. But that was just like you were such in a state of, man, these guys are so much better. We're keeping our butt kicked every week, and we can't get over that hump. That then you do some foolish stuff. But yeah, man, just it's the Andy Reid with the onside kick, trying to catch him off guard, and you're just like, why? And it gets run back like for the quickest touchdown in NFL like history. It's like, oh yeah, that's nice, good idea. Like just bonehead moments like that. But I'm sure something else is going to come up, especially now. They're going to be hanging a banner. Dak's going to be like, it's a whole thing. Like this anticipation for Thursday. It's just like hold the thought on the tool bag store because it's coming.
Yes, definitely. Who's your AFC, NFC dark horse teams? Just give me one.
Want me to go? Dark horse team, NFC. I don't hate the Niners, and maybe that's not dark horse enough because I think if I look at the odds, they're probably still right around a pretty favorable pick to win or to at least get to the playoffs. So I don't think if that's going to constitute as a dark horse enough, but I just feel like everyone's counted them out because of last year combined with the narrative everybody loves, and I'm guilty of this too, is the window's closed. The window's closed.
Yeah.
And they
closed.
had, yeah, and it maybe it has, but I don't think they're all of a sudden this dysfunctional football team with zero talent like a lot of people. And maybe I'm overly sensitive to it, but I just feel like they've been counted out before the season has even began.
Duncan?
Man, I don't know. I can't support San Francisco. Just like I just can't do it. I want them to be as poor as I think they are going to be. I just because anything else other than that, it's going to be a scary team, right?
Like Dennis Erickson, like 49er era.
Yeah, like they do have some talent.
Okay.
My two teams, Denver. I love Denver in the AFC. I think Peyton, another year under his belt. Bo Nix playing out of his mind. You saw a sort of reemergence of Cortland Sutton last year. The defense is freaking phenomenal. I mean, people don't sleep on Denver's defense. It's really freaking good. And then, a team that gave him some fits, Tampa. I like the Bucs. I think the Bucs have a sneaky good chance to, get to the Final Four in the playoffs.
I have that weird feeling too. All right, since everyone's saying, I think Arizona. I just think Jonathan Gannon's got something there, especially with the quarterback and everything there. I like that Cardinal team. I have a weird feeling the Raiders are going to make some noise with Pete Carroll. I really do. I think it's going to be entertaining to watch at that 4:05, 4:25 window when we don't want to watch the national game anyway. That's not like the Eagles or the Lions. We might check out that late AFC West game. So I'm going to watch some little Raider game, and I'm also going to check out the Cardinals anyways. I think those two teams are going to be. I think they're going to be entertaining, I feel.
All right.
So, all right. Who are your NFL playoff teams for 2025 season?
NFC, Eagles, Packers, Rams, Tampa, Detroit, Commanders, and begrudgingly, San Francisco. AFC, Bills, Ravens, Texans, KC, Denver, Chargers. Maybe Cincinnati gets in on the tiebreaker with Pittsburgh and New England. I think New England could make a little statement, kind of backdoor themselves in maybe. But I don't know. I'm not sold on the whole Pittsburgh experiment yet. I want to see that all really be together.
Jake, who you got?
I'll start in the NFC. We'll go Eagles, Lions, Bucks, and Rams as my divisional winners. And then, unfortunately, I got to go the Packers. I already said no on the Commanders, so I got to stick to that. And then I'll say the Niners and Seahawks. So
I like that. I like that. Give me the Lions at the number 1 seed. Give me the Eagles. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at your 3 seed. Your 4 seed will be. They are my dark horse team. I'm going to say they're going to win a division. I'm going to say the Arizona Cardinals. I think they're going to win the division. Your wild card. Give me the Rams. Give me the Packers, and give me the 49ers, by the way. I like the NFC West going up this year anyways. That's my personal opinion. All right, final one. Oh, AFC. I forgot. AFC. Give me Bills, Chiefs. Baltimore. Give me Houston. AFC wild cards. I'm going to say the Broncos will be your 5 seed. They will beat the Houston Texans in the AFC South Invitational. I'll say that. Give me the Bengals, and give me the Chargers as your 7th seed. So, all right, last one. Who do you have in your Super Bowl 60 matchup in Santa Clara, California? Go.
Nobody's going to be shocked by mine, and such a homer pick. But Lions and Bills in the Super Bowl, America, all of America can get on board with a wholesome Super Bowl like that.
A grit Super Bowl. I like it already.
Mm-hmm.
Dunkin Dad, who you got?
We're gonna go back to back, baby. I take the Eagles and the Ravens. It'd be battle of the birds.
I like that.
I'm trying my hardest not to be a homer here right now.
Mm-hmm. Come on, man. Miami.
Give me the Eagles. Give me Eagles Broncos, actually.
Oh, that'd be nice. Broncos, man.
I want to be bold anyways. I think the Broncos will make some noise anyways. So
Trevor's like, they were 1/2 away from beating the Bills last year before the wheels fell off the bus.
I think Sean Payton's got that program running. That's why I think they're up for do something anyways. So those are 10 questions. Jake, I give you you get a passing grade. We remember how in grade school you get a pass or fail. You get a passing grade anyways. So
that's it.
Or we don't do the 3-2-1 system. It was like you get a 1 for Spanish. I was like, Trevor, why'd you get a 1 for Spanish? Like, I didn't try hard enough anyway. So, all right, Guess the Lines. These are not sponsored by anybody because everyone's got a sports book, and I've tried advertising for like, please, anyone sponsor this. This has been going on since college radio. I was like, no, we will not do that. I was like, all right, fine. So this is unsolely by sponsorship, and we will go off. Since Texas does not have gambling and Florida has gambling, we're going to go up the DraftKings Sportsbook because that's the only sportsbook app I have on my phone anyways when I go up north anyway. So we will go off the DraftKings Sportsbook this year. Sorry, Odyssey, you're not paying me enough to use BetMGM. Sorry. Not sorry anyways.
Use the formerly BetQL app that has fizzled out.
We'll try that, but we have the DraftKings app anyways. All right, Eagles Cowboys week 1, Thursday night kickoff on NBC. Banner night on the call. We got Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth. Jake, you are the first one. Jake, what do you think this line is? You think?
Oh boy, in this present time, should be about 16.5. No, I'll say give me Philly minus 8.5.
Ooh, good number. I'm gonna take the Eagles by a full tutty.
I actually like Eagles by a touchdown. That's my first guess anyways. And the line is 8.5 right now for the Eagles. Your total is 47.5 for your over/under. Money line minus 390.
Is it actually 8.5?
Yeah, it's 8.5. Yeah.
Nice. Nailed it.
There we go. Anyways,
you guys heard how unprepared I've been all night, or all afternoon. So there's no accusing of cheating by any means.
That's what we got to say. Jake Riepma got it out of the park anyway. So there we go. All right. I said this. We said that we have Eric Chiafalo and Zach Wolchuk. Do we think the NFL used up a bullet way too quickly to go out with Eagles Cowboys week 1? You think?
Banner night. You really don't want it to be a division game if you can get away with it. Usually division games are better on the back end of the schedule. Mm-hmm. The 2 Washington games within 3 weeks. I think it's like a game on, game out. Yeah, like that's not that it's crazy, but that's kind of crazy. Eagles Cowboys, big game, marquee game. But I don't know. Go big or go home, NFL. Go big or go home.
We'll take that. Jake, you are in Dallas, and you're gonna be.
Yeah,
you're gonna see it. You're a reporter for us, anyways.
Yeah, I have no problem with it. Especially you want to capitalize on the Cowboys market, and based on some of the moves they've made, they could be not irrelevant because they'll never be irrelevant, but the ratings could suffer some if you're trying to run this game back late in the season with a Cowboys team that's 4 or 5 games under 500. So you might as well capitalize on that early season audience.
That is true. Also, Dak Prescott is 1-2 against first Vic Fangio led defenses. By the way, I looked up the stat when I was at the gym. By the way, so the only win was versus Jake. You remember how bad those Bears teams were in 2016 with Brian Hoyer and like other random quarterbacks? Yeah, that was his only win. It was a Sunday night game, anyways. So, I like the Cowboys to cover this number somehow. I have a weird feeling, by the way. So. It's a huge number. I think the Cowboys want to show up for this game anyways. That's my personal opinion. So, all right, Friday night in Brazil on YouTube, by the way. Chiefs, Chargers. Dunkin Dad, let's have you start, by the way.
Let's see. We're going down there on the other side of the equator. Chargers, Chiefs. I think it's going to be close. I'll take the Chiefs. Take the Chiefs given 2.5, but I could see San Diego winning the game outright.
All right, Jake.
Yeah, something about these international games just feels like it has a neutralizing factor associated with it. And I don't know how to make heads or tails of that, but it's usually bad football. And because it's bad football, it's close. Both teams are playing bad equally. And week one, you always have that potential. I know, the preseason, you try to utilize that as a way to mitigate some of those early game struggles, but at the end of the day, I think this game will be close. I've got Kansas City winning, but for the line, I'll go ahead and say 3.5.
Chargers by 4. I'm going to say with that. Chiefs are favored by 3. Not surprised by that. All right. Yikes, these games below. Let's go quickly on these. I don't want to watch it. I'm not going to even watch any of these unless I'm forced to do Dolphin post game. Dolphins Colts 1 o'clock CBS on 1 p.m. on Sunday. Dolphins by 3. I'm going to say.
Just on the road, right? It's in Indy.
Yeah, it's in Indy. Yes.
Tua. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Push.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Not quite a push. I'll go Dolphins -1.5.
Dolphins are 1.5 point underdog right now in Indy. So.
Oh, underdog.
Underdog right now.
Indy's favored at home.
What? Indy is favored at home. Yes. Wild.
The Daniel
wild.
Jones era has begun.
Yes. All right. Panthers, Jaguars, battle of the cats. Whenever they play together, someone ends up in the Super Bowl anyway. So I don't know if that's going to happen or not. This is it's going to be a hot one in Jacksonville. Give me the Panthers by a point, by the way.
Bryce Young and Chuba. This gracious. Man, Lawrence, they always give Jacksonville way too much credit early in the year. They were high on this Trevor kid.
Not Trevor Harris.
Not Trevor Harris. No, the other Trevor. Give me Jacksonville at home, giving 2.5.
I think Jacksonville is going to surprisingly be favored by 1.5 points.
There you go.
Jacksonville is a 3.5 point favorite, by the way.
Ooh, nice.
Interesting. All right. Cardinals Saints in New Orleans. Give me the Cardinals by 3. I'm going to say that's a respectful 3.
You take the Cardinals by 5. Just New Orleans has just got a whole bunch of stuff going on, man.
Jake?
Yeah, even though the Saints are home, I still I think the sportsbook would look at this as a pretty wide margin just because the Saints don't have any good players.
Yeah.
No, I'll go. Yeah, right. I'll go 6.5.
On the dot, by the way.
Cardinals. Yeah,
Cardinals are 6.5 point favorites.
That's a couple of them. I should be an odds maker. Certainly
you
have more success than a radio host. So.
Hey, we should honestly, if we can get you to be an odds maker, maybe we can get gambling in Texas at least. Anyway, so
yeah, seriously.
All right, Bucks Falcons in Atlanta, 1 p.m. I'm gonna say Falcons are favored. I'm gonna say the Bucks are favored by 4 here.
Yeah, I'll take the Bucks by field goal.
Because you guys have taken my guess, I don't want to be lame, so I'll say Bucks 2.5.
On the dot. On the dot. Look at you.
Again?
You're on the dot again. You are nailing threes right now, like Rip Hamilton back in the day, right?
Yeah, he's hot, baby. Hot.
hot. All right, Bengals, Browns, Battle of Ohio, 1 p.m. CBS. And the game is in Cleveland, by the way. Give me the Bengals by 4, and this is the first time they will win a week 1 opener since they beat the Vikings. Give me the Bengals by 4.
Bengals got to be favored by a touchdown, right?
They should.
Come on, they should.
They should.
Right?
They
I just feel like they're just going to hang a bunch of points on them. Yeah, to me, the Bengals by 6.
Jake?
I'm not as strong on the Bengals this particular time. So I need to see it from the defense. So I'll say, I still think they'll be favored, but I'll say 2.5.
5.5 right now, the Bengals.
Oh,
so that's an interesting.
Bengals.
Keep an eye on that weather, anyways. So
somebody's car alarm going off. I'm hearing things.
No, someone's car alarm's banging out there.
Make sure it's not your car, by the way, Dunkin Dad. We
Yeah.
do not need your car be stolen on the show. All right, last one in the Yikes games below. Steelers and the Jets, by the way. This is in the Meadowlands, Aaron Rodgers return game in New York. If the Steelers don't win this game, call the FBI anyways. Give me the Steelers by 4. Or give me the Steelers by a touchdown at least.
The Steelers are going to win this game, but it is going to be so ugly, and it's going to maybe even a scorigami, like a 11-8
15 game.
Yeah, something so weird. So I don't know. And shout out to my guy Aaron Glenn, first game as head coach. Going to miss him as the defensive coordinator for the Lions. So I think the Steelers are favored by 3.5.
Yeah. I don't know. The Steelers have a lot more offensive talent. Defense. Jets are the Jets. I don't know. I feel like you gotta have Pittsburgh favored by 3.5, 3-4.
Steelers by 3. You guys are very good. I'll say that. As for week 1. All right, Sunday ticket watchable. I put this game for my own personal reasons. I just want to see one old head coach come back to play his old team. Raiders and Patriots 1:00. Mike Vrabel debut. Give me the Patriots by a 2.5 point favorite. By the way, I have a weird feeling about Drake May. I really do. By the way, that he's gonna be somewhat entertaining in a fun bad way. How about
in
that?
a fun bad way? Now they got out of town. Man, just how quick does things change for the Raiders? Genty, head coach, quarterback. Bauer should be all right. I don't know. Like I could see them going in and winning the game outright. Give me New England because they're at home, favored by 1.5.
Yeah, I think that's along the lines of what I'm thinking. Really close, so I'll just make it a pick'em game at 0.5 point.
Patriots 2.5 point favorite.
Yeah, that's big. That's big.
That's huge.
What's the over under?
43.5.
That's way too high.
Yeah, take the under there. You can
Take
live
the
on
under there.
under in week 1.
Yep.
I smell an under,
sure.
and we smell an under. I know Big Cat does not like unders, and we will take this under. By the way,
Yeah.
we will
Life's
sweat this
too
under
short
out.
but
I have that T-shirt somewhere, by the way. So, all right, Giants in Washington. 1:00 Fox. Jackson Dart is not starting, so if not, it's finals day here because I want to see what Jaden Daniels does versus the Giants. Give me Washington by 6. How about that, Jake?
I'll go 5.5. Just play the prices right game. A little bit lower than you. So
We'll take it.
I'll do going over. I'll take the 6.5, almost a touchdown.
Okay. All righty. I like that. And survey says Giants, if it wants to show up on this board. Anyways, we are struggling over here right now. 5.5 right now. So, Jake.
Just nailing it.
You are nailing it right now. This is Rip Hamilton in his prime almost. Maybe for his UConn days at least.
yeah,
All right. Maybe. 4:05 window. 49ers Seahawks in Seattle. I actually like this would be a fun game to watch, by the way. I don't see what Sam Darnold's going to do. Give me the 49ers by 7, by the way.
Jay, whoa, that's huge.
Yeah,
I don't like Sam Darnold as quarterback.
I like the Niners, and they're kind of my like I said, dark horse, if you can even call them that. But I don't think a divisional game is going to yield that large of a spread. I'll go 3.5. Niners favored at home.
Yeah, I'll take. Give me the Niners by 3.
Niners 2.5, by the way.
Oh, all right.
Interesting.
Jake Moody looking for you to cover.
Jake Moody, make those kicks, by the way. That's all we ask. We don't need Urban Meyer kick his kickers like he did in Jacksonville. All right, Titans Broncos debut of Cam Ward versus Bo Nix. 4:05 Fox. Give me the Broncos by 3. Jake?
I think it'll be a little bit higher than that. I'm going to go Broncos 4.5.
Okay. Dunkin Dad?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Tennessee is really up against it, and the next to go side. I don't know, I don't want to say 7.5. I want to say a touchdown, but I'll do 7.5.
Broncos by 8.5. By the way,
there you go.
I smell a nice backdoor cover. Hopefully, Cam Ward can do that for us. All right, CBS doubleheader. We'll get to your game. You're the main event for that. Texans, LA Rams, 4:25. Give me the Rams by 3. I'm worried about Matthew Stafford's back, by the way. That's a big concern for me.
Yeah, I know I've said this a couple of times, but it's worth repeating and being repetitive. And I'm a broken record anyways, but it's just two totally different teams. And I'm going to say that early on, at least, Stafford's back holds up. So I'll take Rams 6.5.
Yeah,
Look
I
at
think.
that.
I don't think it's gonna be that much, but I don't know. Give me. It depends on how. Like what CJ Stroud is gonna show up, and is Nico Collins gonna be fully healthy and tank? No Mixon, so man, I don't know. Like, they got Chubb now, right? Chubb's their backup running back starting them for me. Yes, it'll be good. Yeah, it's kind of one of these funny games. I'll take the Rams by 3 at home. But again, like I'm not sold on the everything is perfect in the Matthew Stafford world.
Alrighty, Lions not Lions. Rams 2.5-point favorite, by the way. So, roar. All right, Lions and Packers, the main event, best game of the weekend for the late slate.
Yes,
Jake,
sir.
I'm gonna give you this. Lions will be a 6-point favorite, and the whole state of Michigan is going to make a trip over to Wisconsin. How about that?
I don't think they're going to be that big of a favorite on the road. The Packers are favored to win the division now that they've got the greatest edge rusher in the history of the world. That
Are we sure about that back, by the way, since he's getting injections right now? That's a real question.
Also doesn't know how to stop the run, but that's fine. I'm going to go. Listen, I think the Lions win the game, but I think the Packers will be favored. They're at home. So I'll say, well, you get 3 for being at home. I'll say Packers minus 3.5.
There you go. Yeah, I think if you're following that logic and it tracks the fact that Parsons is there now, everybody in the betting world is flipping them up a couple, pluses. I think being at home, right, they do have to get that homage nod. And it works out well for Vegas both ways, because if Detroit goes in there and just blows the doors off of them, then, man, the Lions are as advertised, and they have missed the beat, and everything's in unison again, and da-da-da-da-da. If Packers win, then, hey, we called it. Give me the Packers at home. I'll do 1.5.
2.5 is your favorite by the Packers, by the way. I like the Lions.
We split the difference on that one, Dunkin Dad. Our hearts and minds were in the right place. We just missed.
Sunday night football. Ravens Bills.
Waiting all day for Sunday night. All right, so
let's go.
That is going to be a drop. I'm going to make sure that happens. All right. I'm going to say 1.5. I think it's a pick 'em, but I'm going to say 1.5 for the Bills. How about that? In Buffalo, New York, the final season at Ralph Wilson Stadium, by the way.
Sad. Those sight lines and the nice low camera angle. We're gonna miss that.
And people throwing dildos on the field. At least.
Yeah. I'll go Bills minus. What'd you say?
I said 1.5.
All right, I'll go 2.5. I think the Bills are minus 2.5.
Man, do I give them? Do we give them the edge by a point because they're at home, or do I just call it a push? I think it's a pick'em game.
All right. Survey says, man, DraftKings is not used to me using this app all the time. I'll say that for sure. So if you want to sponsor us, please. Bills are 1.5-point favorite, by the way.
All
right. Monday Night Football, ESPN and ABC. Vikings Barracks, a classic NFC North rivalry. I'm going to take the Vikings by 3 here. I'm not buying into the Caleb Williams hype at all. I just really can't, by the way. So I'm going to go with the Vikings, and hopefully JJ McCarthy does not look like Christian Ponder.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Vikings on the road versus the Bears. Storylines, the quarterbacks, the new head coach. The offensive tools was Aduzame, right? The kid in Chicago, right?
Yes. Give me a number.
Just give me a number. Give me the Vikings by 2.
Jake?
I'll go even bigger. Vikings 4.5.
All right.
Ooh.
Sorry,
Lots of
Ben
stuff.
Johnson.
You're
no
biased.
love lost. Get out.
1.5 is the Vikings are our favorite by. I think that'll be a fun game. Jake, you are always on those the Chicago Bears shows, anyways.
Oh yeah,
You better. That's gonna be entertaining.
Yeah, run my mouth and talk as much smack as I can for those sorry Bears fans.
Exactly.
That is Guess the Lines week 1. Jake, where can everybody listen to you and follow you anyways? So people can enjoy you on the Upper Podcast and support you everywhere else.
There you go. On air in Dallas, the flagship for the Cowboys and Rangers. Got the little Twitter on the bottom at Jake_Riepma. And big announcement. I am one of the hosts of a new show on the Fan called Fan University, a college football pregame show. So check us out on Saturday mornings. And listen, we're going up against College Game Day and Fox Big Noon Kickoff. But what I can promise you is we'll give it our all. How about that? But no, Fan University, and then weekends on the Fan, and of course all of the Locked On Detroit post-game shows, Tigers, Lions, Wolverines too, if you're a college football fan.
Okay, Dad, we got you covered.
I love it. So thank you guys. It's been an absolute